The upper lip is already sweating, which means this is gonna be a hot video because I'm already hot. What is up, my beautiful people? My name is Kira Graves. Welcome back to my channel. I am a queer content creator and actor on the World Wide Web and on your television screens. Boom, boom. Today, I'm gonna be talking about gay sex, bitch. And my top tips for the receiver. And even though I did say that this is like lesbian / sapphic sex, this could also be like any type of sex. So this can apply to everyone. In my previous video, I talked about my top tips for the giver, which is like my default mode.
However,
I do both. We love balance, you know? Not everyone does, and that's okay. But I personally have been challenging myself to be more comfortable being the receiver. You know, the receiver actually has all the control because the receiver calls the shots. But being the receiver also is a very vulnerable position. In a lot of gay sex, people like to label one person as the top and one as the bottom, but I just wanna say that there doesn't have to be one or the other. You don't have to choose like this person's gonna be the top and only the top in this relationship, and this person is only gonna be the bottom in this relationship. I encourage you to switch it up. Why not explore? Why not expand what you already know and what you're already comfortable with? Because you could find deep pleasure and desire in things outside of your comfort zone. If you don't already follow me on Instagram, that's my Instagram. Make sure you stay tuned on there to look out for updates on my upcoming podcast. Yay! Which I've been working on a lot lately, and that's why I haven't been posting as often on YouTube, but I just wanted to let y'all know that that is coming up, and it's coming in hot. Woo! I'm sweating. These are very seemingly simple tips, but they are super, super important. These are where all the power lies. Not necessarily in the little physical things that you do, but more so your mindset going into it. Mindset is everything. Know that you are worth this pleasure. It can be difficult sometimes to accept, whether it's compliments, love, pleasure, attention. Receiving is all about letting yourself be loved and loving yourself. Know that you are worth this attention. You are worth this pleasure. That is easier said than done, I know, but it's really the underlying component to sex in general, and especially being on the receiving end. My second tip is to let go. Let go. And again, this can be really hard to do. Believe me, I find it really hard to like fully let go. This could mean letting go of your expectations of how the sex will play out, your expectations about like, oh, when am I gonna come? Because that just keeps you inside your head the whole time, and you're not gonna be in the present moment enjoying the experience. Keep an open mind, and that's when I find the magic happens, is when you kind of let go of the routine things that you normally do in sex, and you kind of just let yourself be open to exploring and playing around, which that's essentially what sex is. It's like playing. And let go of thinking, let go of focusing on how you look and how you're acting and what your face looks like, what your hair looks like, what your vagina looks like. Let that shit go. Focus on feeling instead of thinking. You know, society has conditioned us to be so insecure when it comes to our sexuality, and for what? To keep us sexually oppressed? To keep us not enjoying our pleasure or open to our pleasure? That. As long as you trust this person or more people that you're having sex with, and you trust yourself, and there is consent, it is safe to let go. Fuck, I need to hear this myself. My third tip is breathe. Make sure you're breathing. It can be really easy to stop breathing, having really shallow breaths. It's also common sometimes to dissociate from your breath and your body during sex. That is something that I've experienced for sure. Breathing and focusing on your breath allows you to stay in the present moment. And staying in the present moment is the best thing you can do for sex. So if you have trouble staying in the present, I like to just close my eyes and feel, and not have to like see and think and analyze and judge, and just feel. If a thought about your grandma pops up when you're having sex, it doesn't It doesn't need to derail you. Just acknowledge it and breathe through it. I've had so many intrusive thoughts when I'm being pleasured, and it completely takes me out of the moment, and then it gets me all closed down because I'm thinking about something else, especially if it's something like distressing. Don't worry, you are not alone if you experience this, because I have been there. That is our body and brain's, you know, defense mechanisms. When we open ourselves up to be so vulnerable, sometimes those defense mechanisms pop in. So it's totally okay, and it's normal if that happens to you. Number 4, speak up, use your voice. Sex does not have to be silent, especially for the receiver. This experience is all about you and how you are feeling. And you need to feel comfortable in order to open yourself up to be vulnerable to this experience. Our genitals are always hidden to the outside world. Think about it, it's literally in between our legs. So like 24/7, that place is like almost protected by the rest of our body. So in this experience, you have to be okay to let yourself be vulnerable. In doing so, if there's something that you don't like, say something. This kind of goes into my 5th point. Pay close attention to how your body is acting and reacting to the stimuli. Sometimes we don't know how we feel about a certain like sexual act, whether it's maybe a rougher touch, maybe someone is kissing you in a place that you're not really sure if you like. It's okay to not know, but our bodies can give us clues as to whether this is something we're enjoying or not. So even if your brain can't really decode what's happening, pay attention to the sensation in your body. If you're feeling an openness, a lightness, then that's a good indication that you want that person to keep doing what they're doing. But if you're starting to feel your body contracting, maybe your vagina contracting, your face contracting, anything with the energy of closing down, that's an indication that your body is telling you to stop. This you can tell your partner. Just try and be gentle with yourself if that does happen, because that's just your body saying, no, I don't like this. And that's fair, because everyone is so different. We don't all like the same things. My next point is create your own self-pleasure routine so you can explore your body and your likes and dislikes on your own before you jump in bed with someone else. I find that getting comfortable with your body by yourself first is super helpful for when you start to incorporate someone else in sex. I know that there is so much stigma, especially around female masturbation, whether it's, you know, the sexualization of female masturbation or the religious aspect of being like, this is dirty, this is wrong, and that like God hates you for doing this. These are all fear-based beliefs that maybe you have been conditioned to believe. But I am telling you now that it is harming no one to pleasure yourself. I believe it's a beautiful act of self-love. If you feel shame around it, that's okay, because I used to feel so much fucking shame. I know I've said this in previous videos, but I used to pray and ask for forgiveness from God after every time I would masturbate, because I was like religious and I grew up Catholic and that was just what I was told, but that just felt super wrong.
After a while I was like, why the fuck am I doing this? Like, I'm enjoying this masturbation. Why am I forgiving? Like, why am I asking for forgiveness? Why do I feel like I've done something so wrong?
Anyways, that's my tangent on explore your body with yourself first. There's a really great series on Dipsea about this, self-touch series. This video is actually sponsored by Dipsea. I genuinely use Dipsea in my everyday life. Like I said, the self-touch series on Dipsea is one of my favorite resources out there to learn what your sexual love language is. If you have difficulty masturbating, you'll be guided step by step through different masturbation techniques and exercises. On Dipsea, you can learn so much about your sexuality that you didn't even know existed. This is great because once you hop in bed with a partner, you know exactly what you want. Dipsea is an app full of short, sexy audio stories designed by women for women, but obviously anyone could use it. Dipsea is like the only app I enjoy going on my phone. You can listen to all these sexy scenarios with realistic characters and immersive soundscapes so you can really involve yourself in this fantasy. It's super inclusive. There's stories for queer and straight listeners. 56% of the stories are voice acted by people of color. New content is released every week, so in between listening to your favorite stories, you can discover new ones you like. They also have sleep stories, wellness sessions, and stories you can read. For my lovely viewers and subscribers, Dipsea is offering you an extended 30-day free trial when you go to dipseastories.com/Kiara. That's DIPSEA stories.com/KEARA. That's That's 30 days of full access for free when you go to dipsystories.com/Kiara. Try it out, see how it enhances your love life. Join me on Dipsy. Hopefully one day I can actually voice a story on Dipsy. That would be like a dream of mine. So Dipsy, let me know if this is possible. My next tip is honor yourself and respect yourself. I know I've kind of touched on this a little bit previously, but honor how you feel in every moment. If you absolutely do not want to be the receiver, you don't have to do anything you don't want to do. Respect that decision. I also wanted to talk about how it's okay to have a fluctuating libido. Maybe you're more horny in the summer. Maybe you're more horny around your period. Maybe you haven't been horny at all because there's been a
global pandemic.
Sometimes we can feel the pressure to, you know, have sex once a week or maybe 3 times a week. Or if we haven't had sex in a while, we get fearful being like, oh no, is there something wrong with me? Or like, am I not attracted to my partner or what's going on? I just want to assure you that that is so normal. It is so normal to have a fluctuating sex drive. If you are on the receiving end and you aren't feeling it anymore, you have every right to say, hey, I'm not feeling it anymore. That's okay, and your partner should respect that. My next tip is try not to anticipate the orgasm. I've said this a million bajillion times on my channel, but it's about the journey and not the destination. And of course, the destination is beautiful, it can be blissful, but anticipating the orgasm the whole time takes you out of the moment and takes you out of what you're experiencing right now. And it can also put pressure on,
when am I gonna come? Am I gonna come? Maybe I should fake it to make my partner feel better.
My suggestion to you is to just enjoy the moment, and if you don't have an orgasm, that's okay. And if you're on the giver end, try not to get upset or blameful on yourself if your partner doesn't orgasm, because it just happens sometimes. There's so many factors that could be involved in not having an orgasm. Those are all valid reasons. And my last tip is don't feel rushed to move on to the next thing after you've come or after you have received pleasure. Sometimes after I've received pleasure, I am like, oh my God, I need to really quickly like do my partner so that they feel love too. And this is understandable if you think this way, because it means you care. It means like, oh, you know, my partner just gave me such a wonderful experience. Now I need to give them the wonderful experience back, and you will, or you won't. But whether you had an orgasm or not, bask in the energy that your body has just created for you. How fucking cool is it that we have clitorises and vaginas and all these beautiful sexual organs that create pleasure? The clitoris is the only organ that is designed purely for our own pleasure. And why would it be there if we weren't supposed to use it? Why would God or whatever, or whoever, higher power, create our bodies like this if we weren't supposed to experience this type of pleasure? I like to have a little bit of gratitude for my body afterwards and just thanking my body. The energy of gratitude is a very strong, positive vibration and frequency. Like, you were only able to do that because you let go and, you know, allowed yourself to be vulnerable. And that is a brave, courageous, intelligent act to do. People who receive, you're powerful as damn, because it's a hard thing to do. I have trouble with it. So those are my top tips for the receiver, for the best lesbian slash sapphic slash any type of sex. I actually learned a lot by my own video. I hope that you learned something too. It's these small, simple, mindset-based things that take the sexual experience to the next level. In the comment section of my previous video for the giver, I had a lot of people being like,
these are such basic statements, this was such an empty video.
But no, actually, all the power lies in the mindset. After that, it doesn't fucking matter which way you move your hand to stimulate the clitoris. It doesn't fucking matter how fast you penetrate. What matters is what's in here, inside. Okay, I've said all I needed to say. If you have any more tips to add on to these tips, please leave them in the comment box below. All love, please. And I will see you in my next video. Mwah!